Welcome to another VA Disability Group discussion. I'm attorney Casey Walker. I'm the founder of VA Disability Group. Today, we're going to discuss the projected cost of living adjustment that's commonly referred to as COLA. There's different groups that try to project what the cost of living adjustment is going to be. Well, the Senior Citizens League is one of those entities that a lot of people, such as myself, try to track because they're projecting based on data what that COLA will be. The Senior Citizens League earlier in the year projected a 2.2% increase for 2026. They just revised that to 2.5%. So as of today, or in July of 2025, the projected COLA is going to be 2.5% on top of whatever you're making right now for your pension or your VA disability compensation or your educational benefits. So who is the Senior Citizen League? It's a nonprofit and nonpartisan entity who advises and lobbies on behalf of the elderly, and they also provide educational materials. Their ultimate goal is to enhance the welfare of the elderly. So if you want to see what the dollar values are for the 2.5%, check out our website. It's linked in the description. Now, this isn't an official table. It's based on a projection, but usually these projections are quite close. So you can check out that increase on our website. At the lowest level being 10%, we're looking at a $4.39 increase if the 2.5% increase is effectuated. And at the highest, you would have a $95.78 increase. So what does this look like moving forward? Well, we're waiting for October. In October, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is going to release their official data. And then what happens after October? That's typically the number that everyone runs with. The VA will promulgate or effectuate that data into their rating tables and payment tables. They'll post and publish their tables usually in November, early December. And then in December, the rates will become official and they usually pay out around New Year's of 2026 or whichever year you're in. So this is pretty consistent every year. Now, one interesting thing to note is the Social Security Administration is considering moving from the consumer price index based on wages to the consumer price index for the elderly. They kind of look at different data points, but the one for the elderly should lead to a slight increase if it's adopted by the Social Security Administration and the VA for the CPI relied on for the COLA. More to follow on that. Right now, it's just speculation, but it does seem to be gathering steam. One other consideration, over the last 5 years, we've had a 21.6% increase on COLA for VA payments. So over the last 5 years, ask yourself, has your hamburger at McDonald's increased 21.6%? Has your house increased 21.6%? Has your food at the grocery store increased 21.6%. I think most people would say, no, that's silly. It's increased 40 or 50% for pretty much everything in the last 5 years. To suggest a house that was worth $100,000 is only worth $120,000 today probably isn't incorrect. Or to suggest that the broccoli or the cabbage that you're buying at the grocery store only went up from $1 to $1.20. That's probably incorrect as well. So I'm not entirely happy with the overall COLA increases that veterans have received and the elderly have received. I don't think it's reflective of reality. Let me know your thoughts on that. Leave a comment. So the interesting thing here is, what do you do? Nothing. You have no control over any of the situation. You're simply waiting for the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the Social Security Administration, and the Department of Veteran Affairs to take action. Then we get whatever the increase is. There's no action needed. We're simply in a standby mode and waiting and observing, hoping for a higher increase. Another consideration is veterans are always looking towards this COLA increase on a yearly basis because things are getting expensive. But perhaps veterans should consider filing for increases if they're warranted because the increase will far surpass any COLA increase. If you believe your conditions have worsened or you haven't been compensated or service connected with the right conditions, you should consider filing for additional compensation. And if you're denied, contact an attorney or contact a representative. Well, that's it for today. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.